career high tonight by quite a bit. What's that mean to you?
I mean, it's special. I've been kind of waiting for this. Just knocking down shots, getting downhill, getting to my paint, mid ranges, threes, just kind of exploring around the paint and probing got me to that.
And then 9 assists, most in almost exactly 2 years by Torero. How have you made the distribution kind of a part of your game?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the coaching staff get taught me about like not being one-dimensional and exploring my options, like use something besides scoring. So I really took that to heart. And plus, just pushing in transition and having guys open. I think Kean did an exceptional job of finding the ball, meeting the ball. Same with some shooters like Cody and Benji and Devin. They really got me there, just finding the open man, and they hit.
And lastly, you guys are kind of in a rut here, but so close so many times. How are you guys staying together through it all?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one thing if you have a group of guys that, like, don't want to win. But, I mean, we have a group of guys who are young and very talented and want to get after it every single day. So, I mean, if you come to practice tomorrow, you'll see it's like we won. The energy's high. Everything is high, and we believe in ourselves, and we believe in our staff, and our staff believes in ourselves, which is the most important thing. And I'm sure there's going to be a big turnaround, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And then one more question. You've seen it time and time again where, your team's down, but you come in and you kind of take it upon yourself to, take over and get the team back, whether it's with steals or tonight scoring or assists or get to the foul line. Is that something you kind of say to yourself when you check in? Or?
I take pride in being the spark guy. And whatever the score is, I'll do anything to bring the team back and get that momentum up and just bring the energy back to what it is in the first half of those first few plays when we're up. And I feel like that's my job, and I come in and I try to do my best today, whether it's being relentless or just being a fierce competitor.
All right, thanks. So, career high tonight. What does that mean to you personally as a freshman?
Man, it feels great. Obviously, the older guys, Joey, experience, trusting me. And they all just believe in me. All the older guys, the coaching staff, always hype me up, always bring that energy. So, it's just confidence building. So, it feels great.
It's actually your third straight game with the career high. What's kind of gotten into you the last 3 games at Portland, at USF, and then tonight?
Just development. I think our coaches do a great job in practices, getting me the reps I need in the development, whether it's in half court or full court, and just building that confidence in practice day after day, and then applying it to the game. Like I said, the older guys trust me a lot. The guys around me trust me, and the coaches.
It's tough to be in the desert, as Coach says you guys are right now, but being so close so many times, how are you guys staying together through it all?
Like Joey said, we have a group of guys that love each other, like they truly do. We have a group of guys that want to compete. They come every day, they fight, they play their hearts out every day. So I feel like just staying together, trusting each other, knowing that hard times don't last forever, and we'll get through it.
First thing I have to ask is about the event that you guys coaches participated in tonight, Coaches vs. Cancer, and what that means to you personally.
Well, cancer is something that affects everyone in the world, whether it's through 6 degrees of a family member or a friend, someone in your community, people you grew up with. And so the importance of education regarding early detection, also, funding and supporting the cause to find a cure, to beat cancer, to eradicate a dreaded disease. And it's a way through basketball to celebrate a great cause. The Suits and Sneakers annual, week is something that galvanizes the basketball community for something that's bigger than ourselves, which is to eradicate cancer. And someday that's going to happen. In the meantime, we got to support it and raise awareness. So it was a special night from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we dug ourselves a hole in the first half, falling down 19 points, and gave up 57% from the field. And Pepperdine was in a flow, shooting the ball, a lot of confidence, both attacking in transition, but hitting threes, and then executing their flex offense on the half court. We made some adjustments in the second half and held them to 37% from the field, which is a terrific number That's a defensive number that allows you to win games. But we didn't do it in both halves. Last week in San Francisco, we held the Dons to 37% from the field in the first half, but then in the second half gave up 57%. So tonight it was the opposite. We defensively didn't come out with the necessary sense of urgency, weren't tied together, we weren't aggressive. They beat us up on the board some, just more physical and more stout. And then the second half, we really took it to Pepperdine and outscored them by 7 in the second half, but really it was at one point a 15-point run from down 19 to cut it to 4 points. And then late we had to foul some because we were trailing, and so it ended up being, us outscoring them by 7 in the second half. So proud of this team, a lot of impressive individual performances. Joey Chammaa with a career high 24 points, but also 9 assists. And as a team, we had 17 assists against only 11 turnovers. So we were taking care of the ball. That had been an issue earlier this season. So we are addressing and have even remedied some of the issues that hurt us. We have stretches offensively where we're not able to knock down shots. I thought we passed up some open threes on some possessions, and that hurts us as well. If we got an open three, we need to take it, and we can also offensive rebound if we miss it. But sometimes you never get a wide open good look from the three again during a possession if you pass up that first one. So different than time and score late in the game. Obviously that's different. We're not taking threes because we want to put the game away or get to the foul line or only play through the paint. But through the flow of the game, when we have an open three in transition or out of our offense, and we played inside out, got into the second side, we need to take those open shots. So Kean Webb, I thought, had one of the more complete performances of his time here at San Diego. And Dev Dawkey came in, knocked down a couple shots for us, which was big as we closed the gap on the deficit to Pepperdine. Santiago returned to form. I think this was one of his better games, the 9 rebounds, but also offensively was aggressive and used good judgment, didn't force shots. So really pleased with Santiago's bounce back from this past weekend.
Being down 19 at one point in the second half, what was the conversation like with the team to, trusting the guys to get back to, eventually it was 4, but could have gone all the way back?
Yeah, I think the biggest message was our aggression level wasn't where it needed to be. And every team we face this season is going to have more experience than we do. We've talked about that. I think we're the 9th or 10th youngest team in the country. And for the second consecutive year, we're the youngest team in program history. And so we can't allow that to be an excuse. It's a reality, but we have to find ways to overcome our lack of experience. And in a number of areas we've improved, but there are times where we get taken inside because of team's physicality, their overall experience. And so I thought in the second half we really responded well. Was not pleased with our aggression level. We switched some things schematically in terms of our defense. We didn't switch, or we switched much less. We just played man-to-man, and there are times where switching can be really effective in terms of trying to disrupt an opponent's offense or their rhythm or flow. But tonight, the switching was not effective, and so we called it off. And the second half just played old school, traditional smash mouth, aggressive man-to-man defense, and it paid dividends. It allowed us to close the gap. And we had possessions, we had open shots, wasn't turnovers. We got some good looks. They just didn't go down. But proud of our players' grit and their fight back. That's been a trait all season long, with the exception of maybe the St. Mary's game and the Oregon State game. They never go quietly into the night. And as you build a program, that's really an important quality or trait. And so pleased, but disappointed for our players because they work so hard all week, and love to see them punch through to the winner's circle because they do work so hard. They're so earnest and eager and come with a great attitude, and they're coachable, and they really care about one another in a genuine way. And that is something I'm proud of as we build this program.
Yeah, you mentioned Joey and Kean and their performances tonight, but it's not really anything new, right? It's something that's been persistent in the last few weeks, maybe even months. What does it mean to you through all these injuries to have these young guys, these freshmen stepping up in that role?
Yeah, I mentioned that post-game to the players, is how proud I am of them for persevering through an unprecedented season with the number of injuries, the musical chairs, and how that disrupts and at times leads to a disjointed performance because it affects your practice and preparation as well as the flow of a game. And so we've never had a full roster, a full complement of players. And other teams have injuries. We're not the only team in the country. We just happen to lead the country in injuries and games missed as a result of injuries. But it's a lesson in life. Life's unfair. Life keeps coming. It's going to lead to unexpected aspects. You just got to find a way to overcome that adversity. And that's where I'm really proud of this team. And what happens with injuries, sometimes the silver linings is players get opportunities to play in big games, in big moments. And so for the long-term growth, not only this season, but down the line, the fact that we've had to throw a lot of our young players into the fire, baptism by fire, and they've responded well. And now we just want to get in the win column.
Great. Yeah, lastly, real quick, first time through the conference, and on Saturday, just 2 days' time, you've got LMU coming back here. That was another close game. How do you navigate that with, having seen them before and being in another close game?
We talked to the team after this game about, minimizing the runs by opponents, and you do that through defense. And you also do it through offense. Teams are going to go on runs. You're not going to shut a team out. It's not like baseball or football or hockey or soccer. No one's ever shut a team out in Division I basketball in modern history. But you want to minimize the runs so we're not down 13 in the second half to Loyola. We came back, took the lead inside of 4 minutes against Loyola, had a couple point-blank shots that we didn't convert on, and so they knocked us off at their place earlier this season. Now we have a chance for payback. But that theme of digging holes, because now you're expending so much energy to get back to tie a game or to take the lead, and in the process, an opponent's going to go on a run or counter punch. And so we really have to focus on things we have control over. And again, we're not going to shut a team out, but let's not fall down 13, 19, 18-2, where you're down 16 points, as we did to Washington State before coming back and taking a 7-point lead. But because, again, we expended so much energy, they went on a run to close out the game. And so these are lessons that you understand if you've been in coaching for 35 years, and now it's about imparting those lessons, that knowledge. We call it the math. And that's what the box score is about, and watching game film is about, is explaining that the math of falling down double digits is not favorable, because now you're playing uphill. The equivalent of putting people on base in baseball comes back to haunt you, or penalties in football, right? That comes back to haunt you in terms of field position. And basketball has its own fundamentals and kind of elements that are ingredients that go into winning, and we have to remedy the things that have affected us and have led to losses, and pick up great experience along the line, but make those adjustments and improve in the areas that have cost us, and start to build on our strengths and minimize those areas that have led to us being in this losing streak in the desert.
All right, thanks so much.